Evaluate the expression for a equals -4, b equals 3, and c equals -2. So when we do an evaluation problem, remember that to evaluate involves two steps. The first step is a substitution step. We're going to substitute. And then the second step is to simplify. Okay, and the simplify part, that's where we do the math. We want to be sure that we keep these two steps separate. We don't want to try to be substituting and simplifying simultaneously all in our head, because that's where mistakes are going to come in. So let's go ahead and do our substitution step. When we substitute, we want to find the variables that I'm substituting. So I've got an A, I've got a C, and I've got a B, and I want to put each of those into their own little isolation booth. I don't want any numbers in there, I don't want any signs in there, I don't want any exponents in there, I just want the variables themselves. And then what I'm going to do is each one of those variables, I'm going to slip the variable out. So in this first one, the A is going to slip out, and in its place, inside those parentheses, I'm going to put in its value. So in our case, the A is -4. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the C. Remember, we had the C in its own little parentheses. The C slips out, and in its place goes the number 3. And then we want to be sure that we bring down that plus sign. And then lastly, we have this value for B. So, I put in the C, I just realized. Let me go back and fix that. Notice here I put in B instead of C. That was supposed to be a C. The C value is -2. So let me go ahead and change that. And that's just kind of points out an important thing you have to be on the lookout for. Just because the variables are given to you in a particular order doesn't necessarily mean you're going to substitute them in the same order. So my C value was -2. That's this over here. Okay, I'm glad we caught that. Now B, here's my B value. My B value is 3. And so that's what's going to be added on over here. So now we've done our substitution step. Always good to pause and just make sure everything got substituted in correctly. And now we're going to simplify following order of operations. We're going to do parentheses, exponents, multiply or divide left to right, add or subtract left to right. So we're going to start here. We're going to start with multiplying, because I don't have anything inside parentheses that I can do, and I don't have any exponents. So let's start multiplying left to right. So -4 times -4 is +16. So that +16 is going to come down. I'm going to bring down the -2, and I'm going to bring down that +3. And because there's no negative with that 3, I can just go ahead and just bring that 3 down. I'm not going to need those parentheses. Now I'm going to finish the multiplication step. 16 times -2, well, a positive times a negative is a negative. 16 times 2 is 32. And then we're going to bring down that +3. And -32 plus 3 is going to give me -29. Okay, and so that would be our final answer to this evaluation question.